Lord Buckley.
Beloveds, under the credo that all ladies and gentlemen are lords and ladies, may I say to thee, good evening, your highnesses. Under the credo that this is not a nightclub or a cabaret, but an absolute instant truth, a modern atomic chapel of the natural church of the theater, may I say to thee, welcome to High Mass. Now I dig all you cats and kiddies out there a-whipping and a-wailing and a-jumping up and down and sucking up all that juice and patting each other on the back and hipping each other to who the baddest cat in the world is. Mr. Malikoff, Mr. Talikoff, Mr. Eisenhower, Mr. Woozer Weezer, Mr. Weezer Woozer, Mr. Woodhill, Mr. Beach Hill, Mr. Churchill, all them other hills gonna get it straight. And if they can't get it straight, they know a cat who knows a cat who's straightening it. But I'm gonna put a cat on you. What's the coolest, grooviest, gonest, wailingest cat that ever stomped on this sweet swinging sphere? And they call this here cat the Nazz. He was a carpenter kitty. Now the Nazz is the kind of cat that come on so cool, it's so groovy, it's so hip, and so with it that when he laid it, well, it stayed there. Naturally, the rest of the cats look to see what this cat's putting down. They said, man, that cat's blowing up a stove. Listen to that cat wait. Hey, get off me, Jack. I'm trying to dig what the cat's putting down. See, they're pushing on the Nazz because they want to dig his lick, you see. Dig his miracle lick. So the Nazz step back and he say, cool, babies. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna take 2, 4, 6, 8 of you cats. I'm gonna take all 12 of you studs and straighten you all at the same time. Say, you look like you pretty hip. You buddy with me. So the Nazz and his buddies are off goofing down the boulevard one day, and they come across a little cat with a bent frame. And the Nazz look at the little kitty with the bent frame and they say, what's the matter with you, baby? The little cat with the bent frame say, well, my frame is bent, Nazz. Say, it's been bent from in front. So the Nazz stepped back and he put the glorious eyes of love on this here little kitty and he looked straight down into the windows of the little cat's soul and he say to the little cat, he say, straighten! Up went that cat like an arrow. And everybody jumping up and down saying, look what the Nazz put on that boy. You dug him before. Re-dig him now. Yes, I can feel it. Now the Nazz is coming off so cool, it's so groovy, it's so hip, it's so with it. They're talking about what do you do here? What's he gonna play there? How he put it down for the cat dug it, didn't dig it. Put it down for the cat the second time, the cat dug it, didn't dig it. Put it down the third time, the cat dug it. Well, walked away with his eyes bugging out of his skull, bumping into everybody. And the Nazz is coming on with such beauty and such power and such grace. They want him to sign the autograph. They want him to play the radio, make the video. He can't make all that jazz like I explained you, babies. He's a carpenter kitty. But when he knows he should show to blow and cannot go because he got so much strain on him, straightening out the squares, he puts it on a couple of these cats that he's hipping. So come a little old 60-cent gig one day, Nazz was in a bind. He say, take care of that for me, will you, babies? They say, you take it off your wig, Nazz, we'll cool it. So they headed out to straighten it for the Nazz. And they got about halfway there, and they just happened to come across a little old 20-cent pool of water. And they get in the middle of the pool of water with the boat, and all of a sudden, wham, the storm, and the lightning flashing, wham, the boat's going up and down. These cats thinking every second going to be their last, when all of a sudden one of them look up, and here come the Nazz. Cool as anyone you've ever seen, right across the water, stomping. And there's this one cat on board, I think his name was Jude. Jude said, Nazz, can I make it with you? And the Nazz say, make it, Jude. And old Jude stomped off that boat, took 4 steps, dropped his whole cart. Nazz had to stash him back up on board. And Nazz say, what's the trouble here, boys? What's the problem? What's bothering you? So you banging on that SOS bell pretty hard. You gonna bend that bell, you keep ringing it like that. And they said, Nazz, what you mean? What's the problem? Can't you see the storm storming, the lightning flashing? And the Nazz say, I told y'all to be cool, didn't I, babies? Now, for those who don't know what it means to believe, to be cool is to have the sweet sound of serenity rock you away. Now the fame of the Nazz is jumping. The great man shooting off spots 40 feet wide. They're talking about what a bad cat he was, how he stalked into the money-changing court, kicked the short change all over the place, how he's knocking the corners off the squares, and how he's putting it down with such grace and such beauty and such power that there are now 16,000 of these cats and kitties in the Nazz's hometown where he lived, looking to get straight. Well, the Nazz know he can't straighten them all there. It's too small a place. They want to hang everybody up. So the Nazz stepped back and he say, come on, babies. Let's cut on out down the pike. And there with the Nazz and these 16,000 cats and kitties is stomping up a love storm behind him. And it's a great necklace of love. And it's charging, it's supercharging. And it's brother to brother and sister to sister. And the Nazz talking about how pretty the hour, how pretty the flower, how pretty you, how many pretty she, how pretty me. Nazz had them pretty eyes, see. He wanted people to see with his eyes, see how pretty it was. And they're having such a glorious hallelujah Mardi Gras time that before you know it, these cats is 42 miles out of town. It's scoffing time, and ain't nobody got the voice biscuit. So the Nazz look at these cats and kitties stomping in the sand, and he say, you hungry, ain't you, babies? And they say, well, yeah, Nazz, we was grooving so hard what you was putting down, we didn't prepare. I say, we goofed. And the Nazz say, well, we gotta take it easy here. We wouldn't want to order up something you might not like, now would we? And they say, sweet double hipness, you put it down, we'll pick it up. So the Nazz stepped back, and he put the glorious eyes of love on these 16,000 cats and kitties, and he say to them, he say, oh, sweet, swinging flowers of the field. And they said, oh, non-stop singular song to beauty. He said, stomp upon the terror. They hit it. He said, lift your miracle, the body went up. He said, raise your arms to heaven, the arms went up. He said, higher, they went higher. He said, dig infinity. And they dug it. And when they did, wham, there was a flash of thunder, a roar of lightning, and they looked down, and in his left hand was a great, big, smoked, stuffed, sweet fish. And in the other, a loaf of that gone crazy, homemade, home-loving, honey-tasting, ever-sweet bread. Why, these poor cats flipped. The Nazz never did nothing simple. When he laid it, he laid it. Oh, in the state, oh, in the state, oh, I want to be in that number. In the Saints go march. Take it, lady, hit it. In. People, let me hip you to something. When you make love, make it